I mean, Borzul's absolutely right. This is a catastrophe for Vladimir Putin and his plans for the future of Russia. Everything that could go wrong has gone devastatingly wrong. He's not achieving anything in Ukraine, just one or two cities where he's making progress. As Borzul said, he's unified the Ukrainian people around their leadership. He's remotivated NATO. He's re-energized the European Union. He's not achieved what Elena was talking about earlier on, the pushback of NATO's forces from the European countries that joined NATO after 1997. You know, everywhere you look. Plus, the economy is going to be absolutely trashed now. You know, if the West stops importing Russian energy, that's about half of Russia's GDP is going to go down the tubes. You know, it's absolutely catastrophic. And all that will be left for Russia will be go begging to Beijing, which for Russians, believe me, is a catastrophe. You know, that's almost every Russian's nightmare, to be in the pocket of Beijing.
And that brings us to what has been the new normal for Elena this past week, which is, as you said earlier, your job has been to watch what's coming out of Russian media. And we know that 70% of the population supports Vladimir Putin.
79% according to an official
79%. Thank you
poll.
for the
We
correction.
have to be very cautious with opinion polls in Russia, but now the official poll shows almost 80%.
So when Robert
Putin.
Parsons paints that picture, is that going to change?
That's very much from a Western perspective, if I may. And as a Russian and as a person in being in charge in Moscow for 10 years, I can say that I am very much afraid of what Vladimir Putin is doing today. And it's very dangerous and very risky to say that he has failed, because Vladimir Putin doesn't like to lose, he doesn't like to fail, and he won't fail in either way. What it means is that he will find a way to say that he has won, and what the way he can find can be whatever will be the worst scenario for the West. It can be a chemical attack, it can be a nuclear attack, it can be just whatever. I shall remember that.
But he's not suicidal either, you know.
We don't know that. We don't know that. Let me just remind you that in his speech, the 22nd of February, he said, "You may adapt any sanctions on us. It won't hurt us anyway." And he knew that the West would be adopted. Why did he say that?
How about the oil and gas? How about
the oil and gas will just flow in the pockets of Russian oligarchs who will still be, Vladimir Putin is the top chief oligarch in Russia, and he will just keep all the rich, all the incomes for himself, and whatever he already said, we want to be paid in rubles, which is a total nonsense when you know the course of what I mean here is that Vladimir Putin is really not concerned at all about the welfare of his population, about the welfare of his economy. And if he doesn't rule with the support of population, he will rule with the fear of population. Look, we saw North Korea earlier on in our news editions. What happens there? People are starving, people are dying, and the guy, he's still in power for decades. His father, his grandfather was, and nothing changed, and he just ruled because it's a dictatorship and the rule of fear. And Vladimir Putin, I repeat that.
But there are limits. There are limits. We saw with the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. At the end, the Soviets were tired.
The
of
end
fighting.
of every Russian
neighborhood
dynasty
country
ends
a
in
limit?
war. In a failed war.
To provoke a full-scale war that like we did not have since this World War II, is it a limit? It's not for Vladimir Putin. What could be a limit for Vladimir Putin? I'm very much afraid when we say that Vladimir Putin is failing, because I know that
objectively speaking, he is failing.
Yes, but Vladimir Putin does not have the same reality than you and I, Rob.
He may survive as leader of his country.
We don't care about his reality.
Yeah.
Objectively,
he's failing. At the moment, Russia, before this conflict started, Russia had an economy slightly smaller than that of Italy.
But the war is not over.